Vale, Sergio tiene 3 intervalos hoy, 3 puertos, 30 minutos. Disfrutar.
What's up everybody, if you're watching this vlog, please check out my new channel, The Secret Training Bible. I discuss various topics from cycling news and to certain type of topics you as a recreational cyclist might not quite understand, like today's topic, which might blow your mind, whereas bigger riders at 75 kilos ride up to half a watt a kilo, almost less, on a 7% gradient climb to keep up with a 55 kilogram rider. I know it's weird, I know it doesn't make sense that a 55 kilogram rider has to produce more watts to ride the same speed as a 75 kilo guy on a climb, but stay tuned and find out why. You might know the climb. Once again, I'm repeating myself, but it's the climb I did in my previous vlog with Sergio. We did a good half an hour effort up here, and we were almost 10 minutes slower than the days of Jan Ulrich. And saying that Sergio is one of the best climbers in the world, and he definitely doesn't go slow. So why we are here today is basically I noticed one big difference is, before I get there, this is also the climb Armstrong attacked, this is also the climb Contador attacked Armstrong, and he went against team orders, and he had some time, and they did about 29 minutes going up here. That's still almost 5 minutes slower than Jan Ulrich did it when he attacked Lance, exactly round about here where we are now on Arcalís. So that's a little bit of history of this climb, but I'm not going to go into that. Why we are here today is I noticed that there's a big difference in watts per kilogram between me and Sergio Higuita from Colombia. He's a bit 57 kilograms, and I'm about 75 currently. I get down to 71 in 208, and we noticed that I ride, when he's riding, he does about 5 watts a kilo, and I do about 4.7, 4.6. So if you're wondering how that's possible, there's a good study out that bigger athletes ride less watts per kilo, and the smaller guys, especially on gradients lower than 7%. So that's why the Tour de France also has a history of these big guys doing so well, like Froome, Ulrich, Lance, Thomas, Dumoulin, the list goes on. And it's quite interesting because there is kind of this ideal weight for a GC guy, which is around about 68 kilograms, and that's pretty cool. We don't really think of it that way, but to make it less complicated, if we take away rolling resistance and we only focus on gravitational pull, and we focus on anything that's under a 7% gradient, it does favor the bigger guys, if you were wondering. However, the steeper it gets, the more it starts favoring the other guys. But remember, many people think 6-7% is quite steep, but in fact, in the world of professional cycling, it's not that steep for these big guys. So at ideal weight, well, I always say the ideal weight for tour rider is around about 68 kilograms. now you know. So obviously gravitational pull has a bigger effect on a bigger rider, especially the gradients go above 7%. But the reason I'm telling you all this is that most of you would have thought, a 7% climb is fairly a big deal, especially if you do it on your own and you see riders get dropped. But it's not necessarily the case. I was mainly pointing out that the bigger rider produces less watts, even on gradients at from 6 to 7%, and it's quite substantial. I've seen that with this past week training with Sergio and Esteban Chavez. It's quite a lot of watts. Just to point out a quick key features on my bike. I've got normal training wheels, so it's not the best for hunting comms, I have to admit that. I've got a 28C tires on, and I'm riding KR1 DMT shoes, BH frame, it's an aero frame, aero bars, and I have to say the bike is pretty quick, once again, even on gradients of 7 to 8%, and thus I don't need a peer climbing bike. The bike's around about 7.2 kilos, so it's not 6.8, but it doesn't bother me too much. I'm not a peer climber that fights it out on the end of a climb. However, I do like hilly courses, and thus you don't need to worry too much about having a too light bike. It won't make that big of a difference.